Beautiful day in Barcelona today, by the way. And it's Maccabi Rishon LeZion. Maccabi Rishon LeZion going to Group A as our first two-seed team to be drawn today. Now next we have to remove the 3 and reload our urn. So let's begin with there are 2 teams eligible of the 3 that are still available. So that would be Galatasaray Doga Sigorta from Istanbul and Rytas Vilnius from Lithuania. These are the 2 teams that will not cause an incompatibility or force one to be caused later. So please, if you would, Diego, our team at the 2-seed level for Group B. There we go. And Rytas Vilnius. Rytas Vilnius, our Lithuanian representative, then taking the number 2 seed spot in Group B, joining Lokomotiv Kuban Krasnodar. Now we need to prepare our 3rd urn for Group C, and here there's only one team that is compatible. Remember, we mentioned that in the rules at the start. Unix Kazan from Russia is the only team that can go into this draw, sometimes because of the compatibility in that group or to avoid an incompatibility in the next group. So please, if you would, Diego. So it's Unix Kazan joining Darüşşafaka Tekfen in that Group C. Unix Kazan taking the 2 spot, the 2-seed spot in Group C. So now we move on to the last team and the last draw of this level, and that would be Galatasaray Doga Sigorta from Istanbul. Only team remaining, therefore there's not a lot of mystery this time. Please, Diego. And sure enough, it's Galatasaray Doga Sigorta Istanbul that is going to Group D to join Unicaja Malaga, and with that we complete the 2-seed level. So it's time to move on to our 3-seed level, and as Rock prepares, I will give him instructions in just a moment. Okay, now for Group A, all of the 4 teams are eligible. Therefore, Budućnost Voli Podgorica from the Adriatic League, Cedevita Olimpia Ljubljana, also from the Adriatic League, Tofaş Bursa from Turkey, and Ratiofarm Ulm from Germany. These are our 4 teams at the 3-seed level, and let's see which one of them will go to Group A. Diego? And going to Group A will be Ratiofarm Ulm from Germany. Group A, 3rd seed, or 3-seed, Ratiofarm Ulm. Very well, if we can discard those, we'll go to the next urn, which will be for Group B. And only one team is eligible, that would be Tofaş Bursa. So Tofaş Bursa going into the urn, and of course, into Group B. So let's take a look. Make sure we've done everything correctly. And sure enough, it's Tofaş Bursa. Tofaş Bursa going in to the 3-seed spot in Group B. Okay, time to prepare the urn for our Group C at the 3 spot. And that is, there are 2 teams that are remaining, and both teams are eligible. Budućnost Voli Podgorica and Cedevita Olimpia Ljubljana. 2 teams from the Adriatic League. And let's see which one will go to Group C, and obviously which one will go to Group D as well. And it's Cedevita Olimpia Ljubljana going to Group C. Cedevita Olimpia Ljubljana joining Darussafaka, Tekfen, and Unix Kazan. All right, and finally the last one is Budućnost Voli Podgorica from Montenegro, going into our urn at the last spot in Group D. So please. And it's Budućnost Voli Podgorica. And with that, we complete the 3-seed level. We're halfway through the draw right now. So let's move on now to level 4 seed. And in Group A of the 4 teams, there are 3 that are eligible. And those teams would be Morabanc Andorra from Spain, well, from the Spanish ACB League, Joventut Badalona, also from Spain, and Limoges CSP from France. All 3 teams ready to be drawn, and let's see which one of them will go to Group A at the 4-seed level. And that would be Morabanc Andorra. Morabanc Andorra from the ACB League of Spain, our first team at the 4 level. Let's go 4-seed level for Group B. We have 3 teams remaining, and all 3 teams are eligible. So we place Joventut Badalona. Next, EVE Baskets Oldenburg and Limoges CSP. No problem. We have the 3 teams ready. Let's see, Diego, which one of these 3 will go to Group B? And it's Limoges CSP. Limoges CSP then taking the number 4 seed spot in Group B. And we have 2 teams remaining now from that level. But there's only one that is eligible, so please place Joventut Badalona into the urn. And I have a funny feeling that Joventut Badalona is going to Group C. And sure enough, Joventut Badalona going to Group C at the 4-seed level. And of course, that means only one team remains, and that team will be going into the urn, EVE Baskets Oldenburg from Germany, into the urn, and therefore into Group D. And it's EVE Baskets Oldenburg. EVE Baskets Oldenburg going into Group D. Very well, we've completed our first 4 seed levels, and now we prepare to move on to the 5th level. The first team to be drawn will be going to Group A, and of the 4 teams that are available, all 4 of them are eligible. So let's begin by placing Partizan Nice Belgrade, Dolomiti Energia Trento from Italy, AS Monaco from France, and Germani Brescia Leonessa, also from Italy. So let's see which one of these 4 teams will go to Group A. Diego? And that would be AS Monaco. AS Monaco going to Group A at the 5 seed, the first of our 5 seeds for the moment. There we go. We clear the urn and we prepare now for the next group, Group B, at the 5 seed level. only one team is eligible, and that is Partizan Nice Belgrade. Partizan Nice Belgrade participating in the Adriatic League. And Partizan Nice Belgrade going then to Group B at the 5 seed level. 2 teams remaining. We're going to Group C for the 5 seed level team. And the 2 teams available and the 2 teams remaining are Dolomiti Energia Trento and Germani Brescia Leonessa, both from Italy. So let's see which one of our Italian representatives will be going to Group C. And of course, we'll also know which Italian team is going to Group D. And going to Group C at the 5 spot is Germani Brescia Leonessa. Germani Brescia Leonessa taking then the 5 seed spot, Group C. And of course, there's only one team remaining, which we will place in the urn, even though we know what team it is and we know where they're going. That would be Dolomiti Energia Trento. Dolomiti Energia Trento. And Dolomiti Energia Trento taking the 5th spot, the 5 seed spot in Group D. Well, we're almost done. We have 1 level remaining, the 6th seed. And now, we'll wait a second as Rock prepares. We will begin with Group A, of course, following our normal procedure. And for the last spot in Group A, of the 4 teams of this level, only 2 are compatible. That would be Umana Reyer Venice from Italy and Segafredo Virtus Bologna, also from Italy. So let's see who's going to complete Group A. And it's Segafredo Virtus Bologna going to the 6th seed spot in Group A and thus completing that group. Very well. Now for Group B, of the 3 teams that are remaining, only one is eligible. That would be Umana Reyer Venice from Italy. Umana Reyer Venice from Italy. And Diego? Umana Reyer Venice then going to Group B in that 6th spot and thus completing the group. We have all 6 teams up on the screen. And now we move on to Group C. 2 teams remaining, both teams eligible. Nanterre 92 from France and Asseco Arca Gdynia from Poland. Let's see if it will be a French team or a Polish team joining Group C. And it is Nanterre 92. Nanterre 92 completing Group C. So you can see on the screen all 6 teams ready in their places. And finally, 1 team remaining. We know what that team is. If you would place Asseco Arca Gdynia from Poland. And this will be the last, but not the least, of our teams for this draw. And it's Asseco Arca Gdynia. Well, thank you very much, Diego, Rock. Thank you for your assistance. You may return to your seat. And ladies and gentlemen, well, there you have it. The 2019-2020 7 days EuroCup draw is complete. Our 24 teams now know who they will have to defeat if they want to advance and move forward towards that coveted EuroCup title. Now, for your information, a random computer draw will be held to define the regular season calendar. It will establish the rounds and the order of the games in each one of our groups. The final calendar will be available later today on EuroCupBasketball.com. Now, stay tuned as we will be back shortly with interviews with the representatives of the different Euro Cup teams.
Well, here we are backstage at the EuroCup Draw with representatives from the 24 teams looking ahead to the new season. We're going to start in Group A. Hello, if you could start by introducing yourself, please.
Hi, I'm Chris Ensminger from Ratiofarm Ulm.
So you're in Group A, an interesting group. You got two debutants to the competition there with Prometheus Patras and Maccabi Rishon, along with Andorra, Monaco and Bologna and yourselves. What do you make of that at first sight?
Well, we're really excited to be once again in the EuroCup. This will be the 7th season for our program in Ulm, and we competed against Monaco and Andorra last season, so we know them quite well. Looking forward to the competition. It's always a great competition, and it's great for the program and the development.
And without giving too much away, when you look at that list of teams, happy, disappointed, excited, how do you feel?
I think we're happy. We have great competitors, and it'll be once again the goal, like last season, to try and make to the top 16, but it'll be very difficult, as we know. Very good teams and very good players in our group.
And is that the extent of your ambitions? Would you be happy with the top 16, or would you have the ambition to go further?
Of course, it's always great to build on what you've accomplished the past season, so we'll have to take it game by game and see how that goes. But for the organization last season, making the top 16 once again was a great accomplishment, and see what we can do in the future with that.
And you mentioned you've got some familiar opponents, but also those two newcomers, Patras and Maccabi Rishon. You don't know much about them, I assume?
No, not really. But they did well in their league this year, so they must have a good team and making their way up, and new organization. They will be excited to be in it. And as we know, the EuroCup is growing, and the level is also getting better year by year.
Okay, thank you. Thank you, and good luck.
Thank you.
With representatives from the EuroCup teams. That was from Ulm. We will continue. Hello, thank you for joining us. Could you start by introducing yourself, please?
Yes, I'm Christos Miglas from Prometheus Patras. I'm president and CEO of the club.
And your first EuroCup season then, how much are you looking forward to taking part in this competition?
We're looking forward to start the competition. We're very excited. It's the first time for us. We are all in the team very happy for this competition, for EuroCup, 7 days EuroCup.
And it's a historic time for you, I guess, to be going up against teams from all over Europe. You've got some interesting opposition coming up, we see, with Andorra, Monaco, Bologna. It must be exciting for everyone in the organisation.
Yes, I think we have strong teams, very good teams, historical teams. We want to play against strong teams, good teams. We're very excited for this.
And what are the extent of your ambitions? How far do you think you can go? Can you go all the way?
When we start something, we want every time to go all the way. But it's the first time for us, and we will know this competition this year. But we think that game to game, maybe we can reach far away. We believe in ourselves.
And how prepared are you at the moment? How many changes to the roster do you want to make in the next 2 or 3 months?
Changes? No. We have already have the team for. We have already have the team for next year. We have also 2 or 3 players to have the full picture.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us, and good luck. Thank you. So reactions from Group A of the EuroCup. We will continue with the club representatives joining us here. It's 24 teams will be taking part in the competition. Next to join us, hello, thank you for joining us. Can you introduce yourself, please?
Good afternoon, I'm Alexey Efimov, General Manager of AS Monaco.
And AS Monaco in Group A alongside Patras, Maccabi Rishon, Ulm, Andorra and Bologna. What do you make of that group initially as you see it?
I think it's a really competitive group. Would be interesting to participate and to compete with such kind of opponents. Patras had great season advancing into the finals of the Greek League. We used to face with Ulm and Andorra last season in EuroCup, so we're expecting really great games.
And you had a good season, AS Monaco. How can you tell us about the progression that the club is making, has made over the last few years, and your ambitions to keep progressing?
I would say that we made a good run since 5 years, but it's never enough. We are trying to improve and we would like to make another step in our history. We would like to again be competitive in EuroCup. Last year it was our debut season and we advanced into the top 16. Now we will definitely try to do better.
And it looks like an exciting time in French basketball in general, with obviously Asvel in EuroLeague this year, a number of French teams in EuroCup. Do you feel that the sport is developing well in France?
Definitely, it's really visible. The interest is growing and growing from the public, from auditory, from fans, from medias, TV broadcasters. So it's visible that there is we expect really great season and with a lot of quality basketball.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us and good luck for the season.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. That was Monaco from Group A. We're continuing with the representatives' interviews for the EuroCup draw. The 7 days EuroCup will be starting in October, and we'll continue. Thank you for joining us. Could you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, we're from Moravang, Andorra.
And looking at the group, you've got an interesting mix. You obviously have Monaco, Bologna, Ulm, Maccabi Rishon and Prometheus Patras. What are your thoughts, your first thoughts on seeing that group?
Well, it's a tough grab for us. No, it's the same level for a lot of teams, and I think is serious competitive. I think is we are option for pass to the top 16.
Well, you did better than that, obviously, in the last season, got to the semi-finals. Is that your ambition again, or to go one further? Because this year, if you get to the finals, even if you don't win it, you know you'll be in the EuroLeague the following season.
Yeah, it's good. It's good present or good finally to play the final of the EuroCup. But our club loves this competition. I love competitive every weeks in Europe, and our ambition is same of last season, but we know it is difficult, and we love and we dreams to go to the semi-finals again, and for the club and for our country.
Okay, well, thank you and good luck. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. It's an interesting group, Group A. We've heard from a number of the representatives, and we will continue with more interviews. Hello, thank you for joining us. Could you start by introducing yourself, please?
Yes, I'm Mladen Šilbel from Partizan Belgrade.
So we're moving into Group B now, and Partizan Belgrade with Lokomotiv Kuban Krasnodar, Ritas Vilnius, Tofas Bursa, Limoges and Reyer Venice. So an interesting group. You've got two former EuroCup champions and two former EuroLeague champions, so challenging group for you.
Yes, it's a very tough group, not just because of big tradition and big teams. It's tough because it's very hard to travel on that places. So for team is hard, but what we can do? We will fight. We are Partizan, so we will see. This year we decide to play in a big arena, so it will be different than the last years, but we want to play in front of more fans. You know, our fans are very good. I think the best of Europe, but we will see. It will be very fun.
Everyone knows, you talk about the fans, everyone knows that the passion for basketball in Belgrade. How much of a factor do you think that will be? Is that why you've decided to go to the big arena? You think you can get some more wins by having more fans, more intimidation for the opposition?
Yeah, everybody like to say that it's the sixth player of the team, the fans. So actually the Partizan fans are really sixth players of the team. Yeah.
And your ambitions for the season, to go further than last year, you would hope, I'm sure. Do you think you could progress all the way to the latter stages?
Yeah, I think so, because this year we have a coach from last year, so it's a very serious coach. So he have time to build a team. we need to play to bring more players, new players. So we'll see. We'll go step by step. So we'll see.
Okay, thank you. Thanks for joining us and good luck. Thank you. That's Partizan Belgrade, one of the teams in Group B in the 2019-20 Euro Cup. As we're continuing with our reactions to the draw that has just taken place. Partizan Belgrade in Group B, along with Lokomotiv Kuban Krasnodar, Ritas Vilnius, Tofas Bursa Limoges, and Venice, the new Italian champions. We are continuing to get some reactions to the draw that has just taken place, and we will have more representatives from the clubs, 24 clubs all around Europe, joining us backstage here in Barcelona, where the draw has taken place this morning. And we'll continue now. The next interview. Could you introduce yourself, please?
Stanislav Momot, Lokomotiv Kuban.
So in that Group B that we've been talking about, with some tough opposition in there with Ritas Vilnius, Partizan Limoges, the Italian champions Venice and Tofas Bursa, a tough group?
Yeah, it's pretty tough group. It's pretty even group, so it will be really competitive games and competitive regular stage.
And of course, former EuroCup winners yourselves. What do you think about the pedigree of the group, the tradition of the group, with Vilnius former EuroCup winners, Limoges and Partizan former EuroLeague champions? There's a lot of famous traditions in European basketball in that group.
Yeah, there's clubs with a good history, with a good tradition, so it will make this group even more interesting to watch and to follow the results there.
And how far would you think you can go this year in the competition? What kind of shape do you think you're in at this stage?
Like for us, our goals is always the same, so we hope and we think, and that's our goal, to go as deep as possible.
And of course, the opportunity to play against these teams from 5 different countries. How interesting is it for your coach and the playing staff to have to adapt to the different styles of basketball that you find all around the continent?
It's story of every year. It's always clubs from different countries, so everybody get used to it. And the only thing, we are all used to Limoges and Tofas. We'll play against them almost every year.
Okay, well, thank you. Good luck this season.
Thank you.
Thank you. As Group B we are with at the moment, looking at reactions to the draw that has just taken place in the 7 days Euro Cup. We have 24 teams spread all around the continent. A lot of famous names in European basketball have learned their fate for the forthcoming season. A reminder that the regular season gets underway in October. That will take place between October and December. We've got 6 teams in each group of 4 groups, 6 teams in each. The top 4 will go through to the top 16 in the new year. So that will be the immediate aim for these teams, is to progress past the first phase, the regular season. And certainly this Group B does look maybe the most competitive. Difficult to say which of the groups is the toughest, but always look for a group of death, and maybe with Lokomotiv, Ritas Vilnius, Limoges, Partizan, joined by Venice, the Italian champions, and Tofas Bursa of Turkey. That's 6 very good teams. It'll be tough to get through that Group B. And we continue with our reactions now. The latest team representative joining us. Could you start by introducing yourself, please?
I'm Frédéric Donadieu from Nanterre, and we are very exciting to come back in EuroCup competition, and we want to make a great show for our supporters, and we know we play a big team, so we try to make it better.
And with Nanterre, we're moving into Group C now. Nanterre alongside Darüşşafaka, Unix Kazan, Cedevita, Olimpia Ljubljana, Juventus Badalona and Germani Brescia Leonessa. So a really interesting mix of teams, and some very strong teams as well, with Darüşşafaka, a recent EuroCup winner, been in EuroLeague recently. How exciting is it for your club to be playing against teams of that quality?
Yeah, because we know it's every game, it's tough game, and it's very exciting to play every time against a big player, big team, and with big organization, and we are very happy, very happy.
We're only in July now, obviously, and the season starts in October. So just give us an idea of what kind of work will take place now, behind the scenes, between now and October, to make sure that you're ready to compete.
We play in French Cup in September, and our coach is in the French team, so we make a better with a player, and we have big staff for prepare to better in October, because it's a good moment, because we have played maybe 3 games in domestic league, so we try to be ready for the first game.
So you'll have had a chance to have a few games already to get yourselves into rhythm before EuroCup starts, and obviously then make the return to the EuroCup. How important is it to be back in this competition now?
Yes, it's important, because for us it's a big competition, big organization. We play against big team, so for us it's a good choice, and we make everything for go to the top 16, and after we see after game.
Well, good luck. Let's see how far you do go. Thank you for joining us. Good luck for the rest of the summer, planning for the new season. That's from Group C, Nanterre, who were alongside Darüşşafaka, Unix Kazan, Cedevita Olimpia, Juventud Barcelona, and Germani Brescia Leonesa. Hello. Could you start by introducing yourself, please?
Yes, I'm Davor Žbinec. I'm general manager of club Cedevita Olimpia from Ljubljana. It's, I can say, a new club, but it's merging between two old clubs. Olimpia with old history, and Cedevita, the new club, which is present in last 10 years in EuroCup and EuroLeague competitions.
Yeah, and I'm sure people around Europe will be looking with a lot of interest at what is happening with your club. As you say, the merger taking place, 2 new clubs. Can you tell us how far down the road you are in developing the new club out of the 2 old clubs?
It is for the first time in the history that it's merging between 2 clubs between 2 countries. It's not something sometimes in the history happening from one countries, but now it's very difficult to settle down everything, because it's different law, different things what we have to do. But now we are in the middle of finishing the administration things, what we have to do. I think in a few days we will be registration in Ljubljana in Slovenia. At the same time, our sport department is working on finding the new players. Now we are in the middle of the roster. We have a few. We can say we need a few, another one, and we hope we will have a really good competitive team.
And just a question about the identity of the club, because that's always very important for fans in particular. How will you try to keep the identity of both the 2 clubs that have merged as you create the new club? Because that will be a challenge, I guess.
It will be a challenge, but not a big challenge, because we moved to Ljubljana. We will be a club from Ljubljana. We will represent Ljubljana and Slovenia, and we will have a green color. Green color is the color of Olimpia. We will fight for that colors and that city.
And how do you think the fans in Ljubljana will respond to the new team? Do you think they're excited about what the future might bring now?
I think they are, because something new, something which will help that basketball is coming back there. You know that Slovenia is the European championship winner, and basketball there is present. Now I hope, and I'm sure that in few seasons from now, the club Cedevita Olimpia will be the one of the best club in first in EuroCup, and then we have to fight, and I hope we will fight for EuroLeague competition.
Just looking back at this season, the EuroCup, the draw we've seen today, Darüşşafaka, Unix Kazan, you've got some good teams in that group. What do you think of the group?
Group is very interesting because Kazan is absolute favorite in the group. Then Darüşşafaka is second the best, and all 4 clubs are, like I say, equal, because we don't know in the moment what roster the teams will have. But from the last season, we will be the equal teams, and that will be a big fight between all of us.
And do you have a goal for the EuroCup season? How far you would be happy with progressing?
We will come to quarterfinal. That will be for this season. That for us will be a really good result. But we will fight if you can move and we go a little bit further.
Okay, thank you. Good luck with that. Thank you for joining us, and good luck with all your work in planning the new club. So that's from Cedevita Olimpia, who are in Group C in the upcoming EuroCup season. Hello, could you start by introducing yourself, please?
This is the general manager of Galatasaray Basketball. I am very happy to be here under the EuroLeague organization.
And we're now moving into Group D, Galatasaray, alongside Unicaja Malaga, Budućnost, EV Baskets Oldenburg, Dolomiti Energia Trento, and Arka Gdynia. So you've got 2 former winners of EuroCup, with Unicaja as well. What do you think of this group? It's an interesting one, an interesting mix of teams.
It's very interesting teams they are. I mean, we respect all of them because very important names, but we are very at the beginning of the season, so we didn't complete the rosters. I think they didn't make it all. So we're gonna see. I mean, in front of 1 month, we're gonna see where we are. But it's going to be very interesting games.
And everybody knows that the passion for basketball in Istanbul, and we've seen it with Galatasaray fans in the past, of course. How important will that be for you to get your fans excited about your team when the season starts, so that you can then use them as an extra player?
Galatasaray name has a great culture in Turkey, in Europe also, as a brand. So our fans is so important, like a 6 man on the court. So we're gonna enjoy with them. Last couple of years, maybe we had a down, but now we're gonna up for sure. So next season we will be a very competitive team.
It's not long since you won EuroCup, of course, and then we're in the EuroLeague. Do you think you can return to those levels quickly, or is it too soon?
I think it's possible. I mean, we're going to try our chance. Of course, first goal to be in the top 16 this season, I mean, following this season. Then we're going to try our chance, our best. Who knows?
Who knows, indeed. Beauty of sport. Thank you for joining us. We'll see how well Galatasaray go this season. They are in Group D of the 7 days EuroCup. We'll continue with reactions. Hello, could you start by introducing yourself, please?
Yes, my name's Cem. I'm the vice president of the club, Darüşşafaka, Tekfen, Istanbul.
And so we're staying in Istanbul, but moving back to Group C, and yourselves with Unix Kazan, Cedevita Olimpia, Barcelona, Brescia Leonesa, and Nanterre. An interesting group with, it looks like, a lot of travel, because that's always important for clubs behind the scenes. How much do you now have to start to plan where we go and when we go?
You know, Istanbul is central of Europe and central of flight destinations. So for each cities there are direct flights. So it's not so hard for us to travel there. And also they are all fascinating cities of Europe. You know, we will go to Paris, Ljubljana, Kazan, Brescia, and also Barcelona. So they are all fascinating cities to visit, in my opinion. And also one of the strongest groups of the competition. Although the teams could be new, but you know, Olympia was every time at the EuroLeague level, and Barcelona, like before. Kazan sometimes had been in EuroLeague, sometimes probably in EuroCup like us. So it's gonna be a hard group for us.
And it's been an interesting few years, very interesting for Darüşşafaka, a couple of years in EuroLeague, winning the EuroCup. How do you assess currently the state of your club?
Yeah, it was a miracle and for us to be the champion for the EuroCup, and 2 years ago we achieved for that, and for this year and for 2 years we still continue to invest on this, so we will do our best to be the champion does not depend on how much money you spend. Depends on lots of things, the chemistry, chance, everything. So we will look forward. We will force till to the end. First aim is to be at the top 16, and after that we will look step by step.
Okay, thank you very much and good luck. Thank you. That was Dariusz Szafaka, who are in Group C in the upcoming 7 days EuroCup season. Dariusz Szafaka coming down from EuroLeague, of course. And we're going to be joined by another representative now. Hello, could you start by introducing yourself, please?
Yes, hello, I'm Germán Gabriel. I represent Unicaja Baloncesto, and we are really happy to be here.
And Unicaja have been placed in Group D, at the head of Group D, with Galatasaray, Budućnost, FA Baskets Oldenburg, Dolomiti Energia Trento and Arka Gdynia. When you look at that group, what's your first reaction? Are you happy with the spread of opponents you've been given?
Well, I'm happy at the beginning with the trips. You know, they are not going to be really long at the beginning, of course. But it's a really historic group of the EuroCup. I think there is 3 teams or 4 teams with us that they are really powerful in this competition, and there is 2 teams that they always are really excited to play against them. So I think it's going to be a really exciting competition. Our ambition is the most of all, and we're just waiting to start.
And I think most people, most fans around Europe would look at Unicaja Malaga in EuroCup and think you must be one of the favourites. Do you see it that way?
Well, I know every year that we are real ambitious, like I said before, and of course we always want to compete to see the EuroLeague at the end of the road, and especially this season when there is 2 teams that they can qualify to the EuroLeague. So for us, like I say again, I'm sorry for repeating myself, but we are really ambitious, and of course that we need to take care about the schedule and about the injuries and all that stuff.
You've been between the EuroLeague and EuroCup over the last few years, Unicaja. How do you see the way the EuroCup has developed in the last few years? Do you think it's changed, become more competitive?
Of course, yes. There have been a lot of investment from the EuroLeague, even organization, to the competition, and of course every team every year they are more excited to play it. I think to play on the Tuesday and Wednesday is really great for the team because it's more compatible with the national leagues. But of course, it's a competition that is keep growing and growing.
Okay, good luck. Thank you very much for joining us. Okay, good luck for the season.
Thank you so much.
That's Unicaja Malaga, one of the teams placed in Group D in today's draw. We will continue. Hello, thank you for joining us. Could you start by introducing yourself, please?
Germania Barcelona, Alessandro Santoro, General Manager.
And what do you make of the group that you've been placed in from the draw this morning? Are you happy with the teams you're going to be facing?
It's a difficult group, but stimulating, interesting, with a great club that made the history of European basketball. And for us is a great honor, but is another opportunity to grow.
And are there any games you're particularly looking forward to in the regular season? Any teams you really like the idea of going up against?
Yes, but for us it's not important where, who, but us. For us it's important to stay here, to stay in a great competition like EuroCup, and it's important to start the season with the same mentality, the same aggressivity, the same condition that we can permit to do a great season.
And what do you think about the level of the EuroCup now? It seems to have become more professional, more organised and more popular with fans over the last few years.
EuroCup is a great competition, but for technical competition, but is a great league that can permit to improve all the club. For us is a great chance to continue our way and try to do something more every year. And this is the second year. But for us it's important to stay here for another period and for many years ago. Okay.
Okay, good luck. Hope you can do so. Thank you for joining us. It's EuroCup Draw Day in Barcelona. We'll continue with more reactions now. Hello, thank you for joining us. Could you start by introducing yourself, please?
Salvatore Trenotti, General Manager Trento.
And you are in Group D with Unicaja Malaga, Galatasaray, amongst others, as we've been discussing already. What do you think of that? A tough group for you?
Yes, it's a tough group, but we are used to this. Last year we had 3 EuroLeague teams in our group. But anyway, it's a high-level EuroCup, so every group is a tough group, so we know that we have to play everybody.
And you have experience, of course, of the EuroCup. How much do you think it helps knowing already what it takes to compete and to build a strong squad, not just in your domestic league, but across continental competition?
It's important. It's important. We know that we have to face every game as the most important game. We have to travel a lot, so you have to be a solid team and a solid organization, and the EuroCup helps the team to be solid.
And this season in particular, just again looking at your group, you've got 2 teams who recently have won EuroCup, Unicaja, Galatasaray, another Budućnost who were in EuroLeague last year, so it's not going to be easy.
It's not going to be easy, but we know that, and I think that every team who decides to play EuroCup, who has the right to play EuroCup, knows that will face difficult teams. But this is stimulating, so we are not afraid. We look forward to starting the season.
Thank you. We're looking forward to it too. Yes, indeed. Good luck for the season. That's Dolomiti Energia Trento, who are in Group D in the new EuroCup season. Hello, thank you for joining us. Could you start by introducing yourself, please?
My name is Claudio Coldebella, Sports Director of Unix Kazan.
And Unix in Group C, which is an interesting group because you have Darüşşafaka, and a team that everybody knows well, Juventud Badalona, former EuroLeague champions, and a completely new team, Cedevita Olimpia Ljubljana. So it's an interesting group for you to be placed in.
It's a really interesting group. I think it's a tough group, nice teams where to play. Interesting even Cedevita and Ljubljana together is something new that will be really good to play against them. Darüşşafaka, Badalona, but don't forget Nanterre as a 6th seed, so really tough, and after, of course, pressure. Pretty tough group. We're happy to start.
And last season, of course, you went as far as the semi-final. This year, if you can go one further than that, you know you will qualify for the EuroLeague with the top 2, not just the winners, the other losing finalists as well. How much of an incentive is it for your club to know if you can get to the final, you'll be in EuroLeague?
I think it's great incentive, but we have to start even from the 3rd place of last year. It was really a great season. I think we performed really well in EuroCup. Everywhere we play tough, we compete. Maybe something was missing in the semi-final to arrive the final, but 3rd place was good for us. Next year, of course, we have to do better, and it looks like it's going to be a big prize if we do better.
And how is the roster looking at the moment? Are you happy with the shape of the team as things stand?
I'm really happy. First of all, because we kept a core of last year, and that's really important. It's going to be a 3rd year of our coach with his philosophy. Even this is going to help a lot. Thanks for the support of the president and the management. That's very, very important for us. And now we almost signing the last pieces for the club, but the guys that we signed right now and we kept, we are really satisfied about them.
Okay, thank you. Well, good luck in completing that jigsaw, and good luck when the season starts in October. That's Unix Kazan in Group C, widely regarded as one of the favourites, I think it will be fair to say, for this upcoming competition. We'll continue with reaction for the EuroCup draw. Hello, could you start by introducing yourself, please?
Yes, this is Juan Antonio Morales, President of Juventud Badalona.
And Juventud with a rich history, of course, in European basketball. Do you feel the club is on the way back up again now?
Hope so. Really, we have this sentence to say that we say to ourselves that we are back. Last season we managed to go to King's Cup in Spain, and also we made it to playoff. So for us to be here is an honor, and we really focus on fighting good.
And you've got an interesting group. We've just been hearing from Unix Kazan. You've also got Cedevita Olimpia, Darüşşafaka as well. It looks like a difficult group.
I think the group is easy or difficult depending on the level that you can show on the games. So we have to focus on playing our best possible basketball, and then we see what the opponents will make. But I'm not worried about that. My concern was more about the trips, and on that we had Kazan, which is the faraway possible team. But still, I'm pretty confident that we can show a good level and fight every game.
And that's an interesting point, I think, that maybe fans won't think about so much, but people behind the scenes, when draws are made, one of the first things you look at is planning trips, because it does make a difference to the teams. Can you explain why it's so important to plan how far you have to travel, how complicated the journeys will be?
Yes, it is, because the teams that we played in big leagues like Liga Endesa in Spain, we already have a tight schedule. So if we have to, if it takes like more than 1 day in a long trip, that means less practices, players tired, that could be players injured. So yes, trips, as far as you cannot afford chartering everywhere, which is the case, is very important. But again, if you have a good group and everything is tied up, you can handle it. But of course, it's much easier when your schedule only brings you to 1 hour and 30 direct flight, rather than going to Kazan that will take 2 very, very long flights with a difficult scale in Moscow. But anyway, this is the rules, the same for everybody, so we will face it.
Okay, thank you. Yes, indeed, the same for everybody. Good luck for the season. That's Barcelona with the easy flight to Nanterre and over to Istanbul as well for Darüşşafaka, but that long trip to Unix Kazan. We continue with the representatives of the teams. If you could join us, please. Thank you for coming in.
Virtus Bologna.
And your name?
My name is Daniele Fornaciari.
Well, thank you for joining us. Virtus Bologna, of course, a historic club in European basketball, and looking at the draw for this year's EuroCup, are you happy with how things stand? You're in Group A with Patras, Maccabi Rishon, Ulm, Andorra and Monaco.
Yeah. First of all, I beg your pardon for my English. Second, we are very happy to be here, to be home, because Virtus 22 years ago is the founder of EuroLeague, and is the last team that win EuroLeague, Italian team win EuroLeague. We are a sweet home, is EuroCup for us. And we are also happy for our position, because is a very equilibrated team, and I hope to have a good trip in this competition.
And I think fans who are historians of European basketball will want to see Virtus Bologna do well, because you have such a strong place in the history of the sport in Europe. Do you feel that you have a lot of affection from fans around Europe looking at how you're progressing?
Yeah. All the manager of the 5 team are coming to say me we are happy to play with Virtus, historical club in Europe, and we have many fans that they bring with us in Europe for sustain the team. I think come si dice, una festa, is a show, is a pleasure show to go with the Virtus in Europe to see the other team.
Great, well thank you and good luck for the season. It's good to see Virtus Bologna back in EuroCup, one of the famous names of European basketball history. And we continue with the latest team representative. Could you start by introducing yourself, please?
Yeah, I'm Richard Dacoury, the vice president of Limoges CSP, the French team who's competing in that great competition.
And you're in Group B this year with a tough group. You've got a couple of EuroCup winners of the past, Lokomotiv Kuban and Ritas Vilnius, and a EuroLeague champion of the past, Partizan Belgrade, of course yourselves EuroLeague champions. So a really good heritage group.
it's a very tough group. You know, it's gonna be very hard for us to exist in that group, but we're gonna do our best, and hopefully with the help of our fans, and we still can have some ambition just to be part of the last four.
Yeah, and Limoges is very much a basketball town. It's one where it is the #1 sport, and you get a lot of passion from your supporters, as we've seen in the EuroLeague season you had not so long ago. How important can that be that you get the fans to believe they have a team that can be successful?
Yeah, you know, as usual in Limoges, you know, the public is very close to his team, and we plan to have their help. To help us to have a great competition, you know, in a EuroCup this year. We're gonna have to need everybody, you know. We're gonna need any help we can have, but hopefully with the help and a little bit of luck, we can manage. We will manage.
And how do you see the overall health of the EuroCup, which you've been in for a number of years now? How do you see the competition progressing?
It's getting a very competitive and very hard competition, you know, with great teams, expecting maybe to compete in the higher level in the EuroLeague in the future. But years after years, you know, this competition is getting bigger with the teams which are getting tougher and stronger. And yeah, we're looking forward just to do good in that competition.
Okay, thank you very much. Very best of luck as well in the new season. Thank you. That's Limoges, who are in Group B in this year's EuroCup. And we continue. Thank you for joining us. If you could introduce yourself, please.
Rolandas Jarudis from BC club Rytas from Vilnius.
And Lithuanian basketball, as everyone knows, is a very passionate thing in your country. And you've got an interesting group for your fans. Games against Lokomotiv, Limoges, Partizan, Tofas Bursa, and the Italian champions Venice. So a lot of competitive games for your fans to enjoy in Vilnius this year.
We're happy for fans because we're gonna see really good, tough games because our opponents is really strong. But we try to do our best, of course, to get victories at home and to fight, to put all efforts to win a games on the road.
Do you, at this stage of the season, we're in July, before the season even starts, do you look to plan the whole season, or are you just thinking one stage at a time? So now we know the regular season draw for EuroCup. Is that all you're thinking of, or are you already thinking of March, April, May, when the season comes to a climax?
Maybe more we focus for the beginning of the season. We're taking care about local players, and after we're gonna start to sign foreigner players. But the first thing to take care about group stage.
And what do you think of the group stage then? Do you think you will have enough quality to progress through what looks like a difficult group?
I think Lokomotiv team is really always strong team with big ambitions. Also, Italian team is like results from last season. It's going to be very tough. Limoges and Tofas, strong teams also. And we try to fight because our team is maybe this season going to be a little bit more younger, and but I hope more hungry and with good fight spirit. And we're going to fight against them.
And what a great experience for young players coming through at a club like yours to be able to test themselves against teams from all over Europe.
I think it's a big challenge and big opportunity to show, all their abilities, how we want to win, how we want to fight against these teams, and to create a good future and good result, not only for themselves, but especially for the club, for the city. We're representing beautiful, nice city, Vilnius.
You do indeed. Thank you for joining us. Good luck for the season. That's Rytas Vilnius in Group B of the 7 days EuroCup. And an interesting group, as we've been saying, alongside Lokomotiv Kuban, Krasnodar, among others. We'll continue with our reaction to the draw. Could you start by introducing yourself, please?
Marko Šegerec, Budućnost voli.
And of course, Budućnost, stepping into EuroCup this season after the year in EuroLeague. What do you think you can take from the season you've just had in EuroLeague and then now apply it into the EuroCup?
Yeah, I would say that the company made it more interesting now to compete in EuroCup for all the clubs, with adding this one spot for EuroLeague next season. So I would say that we will, of course, take it seriously, and we'll try to find out the best model to reach the goals, which are the highest, of course, for our club, as it was like 2 years ago when we won ABA League, and through that competition to reach again EuroLeague, if not through EuroCup, of course. As a position, being not favored this season in ABA League, we'll try to sign players hungry and compete with the best teams in our region, which will be, of course, tough as it is. And in EuroCup is with Unicaja and Galatasaray EuroLeague quality teams many times. In EuroLeague, we played against them many times. All difficult as always, but our 13th season in EuroCup, I believe, with a lot of experience, we will manage to advance and to reach highest goals.
You have had a lot of success as a club in the last few years. How much would it mean to you to be able to add the EuroCup title to that and give your fans a continental trophy?
There will be like a dream come true. We played 3 times top 8 in the last 8 years. In EuroCup last year in EuroLeague was a great experience for everybody, for the club fans, players, everybody. And out of that we had rising star last season, the youngest ever player in EuroLeague. So that counts for something. Big achievements, and I believe with that trophy will be like beautiful thing, and I would say like a dream come true for the club of our level, of course. But again, EuroLeague is always a goal, as it was a nice experience last year.
Well, let's see if it happens. Budućnost in the EuroCup this season. Thank you for joining us, and good luck for the season. Budućnost with a couple of famous nights in the EuroLeague last season. They will be in EuroCup this year in that tough Group D with Unicaja Malaga, Galatasaray, among others. So that completes our interviews today. We've spoken to representatives of nearly all the clubs we've got through. The 29-27 days EuroCup draw has been made. The regular season starts in October. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.
Ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon and welcome to Barcelona.